Since it's 5 after 7, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Welcome to our December meeting. We don't have a lot of things on the agenda tonight, so maybe we won't be here for 2 hours. If we would at this time ask you to rise and join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need to approve the agenda this time. You have a new agenda? Okay, that's not the one it's been changed, okay. All right, so any other changes needs to be made, Eric?
No, sir.
Okay, get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, Annette?
Second.
Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. At this time, we don't have anybody on the agenda to address the council.
No.
We will allow public comments a little later in the meeting. Eric, you want to go over announcements?
Announcements right quick. Nothing major we have coming up, so just a highlight of next year's calendar. We will acknowledge City Hall is going to be closed December 25th and 26th for the holiday. April 6th, Barbecue and Brews. May 11th is the Garden Club plant sale. May 25th, bringing Guardians of the Jukebox back for our concert in the park. June 29th will be our fireworks display this year with Fly Betty Band in the park prior to. September 14th, we have Whiskey Rose in concert at City Park. And October 5th will be the Ballground Rocks Festival. So the 2024 calendars are at print. We should have them next week and be here. They're already on our app and have gone to the webmaster for posting on the website. So all that should be up before the close of this year.
Okay, all these are showing on our app, right?
Yes.
Does everybody here have access to our city app?
I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it.
You have to get it through the little queue.
There's a card right on the stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just scan
You
it.
just scan that QR code.
But it tells businesses, it tells all kinds of information that you don't have to actually go online and go to a website. So it's turned out to be nice. But these, what Eric just went over, all those are listed on that. So the dates are easy to get to. Okay, Council, you received the minutes from November. Any changes or questions? If not, a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
All right,
Second.
Scott, Annette, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Karen. How many sets of minutes have you done in your career?
1 or 2 at least.
1 or 2,000?
How much, didn't I?
Karen's here. This is her 37th year, 38th year. So that's a lot of minutes to put together. At this time, we don't have any, tonight we don't have any old business. So we have 3 items of new business. The first one is consider Georgia Power distribution easement. This was covered at our work session, but Eric, why don't you update it for people here?
Yes, sir. Everybody should be able to see the map with the locations from Georgia Power where they're asking. The area right here that I'm highlighting, that pole and guy wire is within the existing right-of-way. They just want a new document on it just to clarify because it now has a guy wire. The reason for the guy wire was the road widening and intersection improvements. And we also wanted to salvage the large tree that's right in this area. So they had to put a new pole across the street on private property, which took the line out of sequence and brought it back to this pole. So this guy wire right here extends out of the right-of-way. When they discovered they had to do that, as you recall, we waited on that crew to get there for about 18 months.
Yeah.
We didn't let a guy wire stop us. We told them to put it in, and we would come to council for an easement for that guy wire.
So it's on city property,
It is on city property.
just like the right-of-way is city property.
Correct.
So,
Correct. And we're just asking, they had to get a easement from the private property owner where they set the new pole. That owner granted that.
Okay.
We just grant this. So just asking to grant me authorization to sign the easement for Georgia Power.
okay, can I have a motion to grant Eric that authorization?
I'll make a motion.
Vicki,
Second.
Annette, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that we done automatically tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. The next item is consider appointment of Impact Fee Advisory Board. This is something we are implementing impact fees for future development. And to do so, we have to put together a board to work on and approve the impact fee that we adopt. Eric, any more update on that?
No, sir.
We're tonight we are considering two people for the to serve on that board. Vicki, you're nominating Gloria, and Annette.
Evelyn, Evelyn Burgos Calhoun.
Right. So those are nominations from these two, and we discussed that at the work session. So at this time, I just ask that the council approve those nominations.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you for your service, both of you.
May I have a question? Does this complete the board? Sure.
It does.
It does
Yes.
complete, okay.
You want to add the other members? You want to, other members?
This completes the board.
Okay.
So now we will schedule Mr. Ross to do his training and presentation of the methodology report to this board, probably early January, and then our public hearing prior to the January council meeting, which has already been advertised.
Okay. Third item to consider tonight, consider Georgia Municipal Employees Benefit System Defined Benefit Retirement Plan Restatement. Clarify that for us. Eric?
Very difficult to believe, but the Internal Revenue Service had rule changes. Happens pretty much every year, at least every other year, in how the plan manager reports to the IRS the different elements of the plan and what they're required to do. That's gone to legal counsel. It's been reviewed. It changes nothing in the municipal contributions, changes nothing in employee benefits. All it does is changes the rules, the IRS, and how the accountants have to report. So just need a motion to empower the mayor to sign the ordinance for the restatement for the rules.
I don't know if you want to do that. For me to do it. Okay, at this time, would someone make a motion to
Motion. To
authorize me to do so?
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
okay, Vicki. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. It's not a big deal. It's just something typical Georgia Revenue Department challenge. Okay, at this time, call on Eric to give us an update.
We'll
for-
start with Chief Reeves in the Police Department, sir. Thank you.
Chief?
We're moving too fast, I wasn't ready. That's okay, that's okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council, good to see everyone. You have copies of my monthly report that I sent out. See our citations that we issued and the ones that, for the various violations that they are. Been kind of a quiet month, I'll say that not real quick. November was a pretty easy month, I'd say, a pretty quiet month, went pretty good. Didn't have a lot of unusual activity, a lot of major incidents or anything to report. And then our daily activity, you can see it's back up to where it should be after our computer glitch and our things that were going on with our software system, but it's back up to normal. Back up to what it normally is, kind of averaging out. And then our dispatch calls, I think they were up just a little bit too, as far as what we got through 911. We had 218 total. I think last month we had only like, taking 180 or something like that. So those were increased a little bit too, but keep in mind also our traffic stops go into that as well. So it's not all 100% dispatch through 911. It's a lot of self-generated stuff too. As far as that goes, and that's just, that's basic numbers and things. We do have a new officer. We did give him a conditional offer a while back. He has completed his polygraph, he's completed his psychological, come through that very well, very good. His last condition of his conditional offer is the medical screening, and he's scheduled to do that on the 20th. So as soon as he gets that done, we're looking to put him on board, but with the holidays coming up, we're probably going to have to look at it probably the 1st of January. Should be ready to, because we still got to order little pieces of equipment, the holster and the belt and stuff like that. Because when we transitioned to the new guns, we bought holsters for everybody that was working. And I didn't want to go ahead and order a holster because I don't know if he's right-handed or left-handed, because that makes a difference. So, but it shouldn't take long to get that kind of stuff. Just little things, little logistical stuff. So shouldn't be too bad. And I think we do actually have some uniforms that'll probably fit him, so that's a good thing. So we should be able to outfit him pretty good by the time he gets ready to come on board. Then we're looking at hopefully that second officer position will be filled by March or April. So we got some people on the hook, I guess, if you will, that are interested in some few things, hurdles and stuff we got to jump through to get them lined up. But I think that should be on track to get around March or April. And then you see there, we did have an addition to the police department family. Eric Witherington, his wife, had a baby girl on Thanksgiving Day, Abigail. So he's out on his leave, enjoying his family for 6 weeks. So we're a little short-handed, but that's okay. We'll get through it, and then we'll get some more people hired, and we'll get back up to full staff pretty soon. So that'll be good. And Mama and Daddy and Baby are all doing real well. So, and then it says the move-over video, I don't know if anybody's seen that on social media. It was put out through the Sheriff's Office, 911, and I think the Fire Department. They did a little public service announcement about the move-over law for on the interstate, where, if you see an emergency vehicle, whether it's an ambulance, fire truck, police car, or even a wrecker or whatever, you're supposed to move over. And that was actually done in honor of one of the tow truck drivers, Mr. Ingram, who was struck and killed this year on 575 down around Woodstock by somebody that did not move over. So that brings attention to that. We do enforce that pretty strictly on the interstate when we're out there, which we're not out on the interstate a lot, but if we like to have at least 2 officers if there's an accident or something, that one officer can maybe go get somebody if they don't move over, if they're able. The law says that you're supposed to slow down if you can't move over, but if you have the lane, you're supposed to move over. So it's a big safety issue on that interstate, because the minimum speed limit is, or the speed limit is 70 miles an hour. when you're standing on the side of the road and a car goes by at 70 miles an hour, that's pretty eye-opening to be standing up there and have that car zip by you like that. And as we all know, nobody drives 70. It's usually 78, 79, 80, 85. And if you look at some of the tickets that the state patrol has turned in, there's several over 100 that they've written out there. So it's a problem. You know, speeding is a problem. There's a lot of traffic issues and things like that. But this brought a lot of attention to that, and maybe it'll educate a lot of people that didn't understand what that purpose was. So, but anyway, that's about all I have for my. Like I said, that was the big thing, Christmas parade. I know that's December, but it was good. We had a good turnout. I think the weather kept the crowd away just a little, but we still had a big crowd. It was a good event. Nothing major to report. Again, thank goodness, because with that many people, that many things going on, that many moving parts, it could be bad if something happened. But luckily, we had plenty of help and had good help, and it was a very good event. So, any questions? Yeah.
It's like, what is unlawful use of a wireless device?
Cell phone.
Is that the cell phone?
That's cell
where you're
phone.
not- Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and believe it or not, people still will not put their cell phones down. With all the technology we have, Bluetooth, you can talk through the radio or whatever, we still have tons of people that just on the phone all the time. And one thing that really amazes me when I'm in the car ride line in the mornings at the school, at the parents, that I'm standing there opening the door to help get their child out, and they're on the phone and they look at me. And I've told several, I said, can you get off the phone at least while your child is trying to get out of your car? And then, of course, they get mad at me, and, you know, because it's my fault.
Is that enforceable? Is that enforceable on school property or on private property?
There's certain laws that are not enforceable on private property. I'm not sure that it's probably one of those situations where you could probably try it till the court tells you can't do it, but it's enforceable from what I understand. So I made the comment to the principal the other day. I said, I'm gonna start pulling people over and at least give them a good talking to, or at least let them tote a ticket for it, because it's I mean, of all the places, when you got kids getting out of cars and it's dark, and
You need to be aware.
you don't need to be on your phone.
Right.
But it's become a problem down there. All right.
All right, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric?
Sir, everybody has a copy of the financial report, much more detailed report than what I'll go over. But our ending fund balances, including fire, is $3.2 million. 293,000 of that is fire, again, which is a direct pass-through. Once we're into tax season, we will remit the entirety of that back to Cherokee County. Revenues and expenditures for the month, our total revenue for the month was almost 903,000 against expenses of about 460,000. Year to date, our revenues at 2.6 million against expenses of 2 million. And again, it's because we're in our revenue season. Revenue season ends, we'll start closing that gap and go in the other direction. Administration, the annual audit is about wrapped up. We do have the draft financials, and Mayor and Council will receive a report next month from our external auditor. The Department of Community Affairs annual financial reporting has been submitted. End of year reporting, we're in the process now with Department of Revenue. Data has to be reported to them on all our alcohol licenses. We have to report all the funds that we have spent on anybody that physically works on city property. So all that information gets submitted to the state each year along with all their E-Verify data. Commencement of budget activities. And then the March of the Toys parade, the city had its biggest involvement ever in that. That was pretty much city put together this year due to the health of Mr. Cavender. And hats off to the staff. They did a phenomenal job, from admin to public works to PD, and pulled off another good event. So it's My Town app. Going a little bit slower than we were hoping for. We're up to 391 subscribers. But we are making progress. Looking at it in detail, we only have 391 subscribers, but they've interacted 26,000 times. So the folks that are on it are really digging in it and looking at the businesses and getting information from the city. It actually works, so we can skip this one. Right. With the multiple displays, the problem Thursday night was a $5 part, and they were able to troubleshoot that. It's replaced. We bought a spare in case it happens again. So hopefully everybody finds this a lot more friendly to use.
Yeah.
On the roundabout, still dealing with the conflicts on the northwest corner. As-built surveys have been completed and submitted to Southeastern Engineering. We expect them to complete their assessment next week and determine how much of a swing that they're going to need for what they call the slip lane. And that is the lane on the exterior that doesn't actually go into the roundabout. So if you're traveling south on Ballground Highway to go east or west on Howell Bridge, you're not actually going to have to get into the roundabout. You'll be able to use this slip lane to the right. And that's what they're having a little bit of trouble fitting in. And so hopefully with the survey data and everything they have now, they'll be able to put that slip lane in. They do think they may have to put in a retaining wall to make that happen. So then the question becomes, who gets to maintain the retaining wall in the future? Very likely the city of Ballground, just like the lighting and other things. But hopefully we'll have a lot more information on that next week. Downtown crosswalk upgrades. Again, the verbal approval has been received from GDOT for this grant valued at about $40,000. They will just provide us with the equipment. We're hoping to be able to pick that up within the next 30 to 45 days. The city will have to pay for installation. This sign meets this year's changes to the MUTCD. There's always changes going on there as well. But the best part of this, it's not a slip base like our existing ones. Still going to be breakaway, but right now ours are mounted on a swivel and tightened by very little screws. The tractor trailer vibrations, that's why our signs are always leaning. You put Loctite on those, whatever, they just don't tighten well enough. So these will be a different mounting style. The Bird Hill and Old Canton Road catch basin doesn't look like much of a project, but that was quite a feat. That was one item in our capital improvement plan. You can see the coloring of the concrete there. It's almost cured, so by the middle of next week we'll be able to get the riser back up and in the top of that and get the forms off. Hopefully that's going to function much, much better in the future. ADA transition plan. This is a great night for our finance director to not be here. We have until December 31st to submit an ADA transition plan to GDOT if we ever want to receive any federal dollars. Being that we are pending receipt of federal dollars from Senator Warnock's office to assist with the bypass, this is something that we're going to need to put together. So we need to have all the identification done and also report what we have done over the last 2 years to achieve more compliance. And the reason I was teasing about Donna, the picture on the right, the area, let's see if I can get it right here. This area here, this stretch of sidewalk runs from the traffic light west on Cartersville Street to Grogan Street. In that area, you have the sidewalk is about ruined anyway, and you have all the step-off curbs. We also have concrete going up again in January. So what I was going to ask for this evening is an unbudgeted request out of reserve funds for $55,000 to replace the sidewalk and make the entirety of the sidewalk ADA compliant from Grogan Street to the traffic light, make it a 5-foot width, And the reason we selected this area is at the very end of that sidewalk, we do have a mobility challenged resident who is in a wheelchair or walker. Young girl, she's what? Yeah. So it would be a good area to allow them access to the bank and other areas right there.
Cherokee, Regions Bank.
Right.
It's right here.
But the cost savings of doing this year unbudgeted against the new concrete prices is about $12,000. So this was something, did anticipate budgeting in July, but we can save funds by doing it now.
Just a question on.
Yes.
5 there, Canton Highway. The sidewalks that we've discussed in the past, which side would that be on, and would that affect that would eventually have to be redone?
It wouldn't impact this portion because we would stop short of the traffic light
Okay.
where GDOT already has the crosswalk
Right, okay.
heads. We would just tie into that.
Okay.
So
So do you need a motion to approve it?
if you're willing to do that, yes.
Motion to approve, yeah.
Second?
All about the ADA.
So the motion is for 55,000?
Yes.
Okay.
The estimate's 50,000 and that gives us a buffer to, if we hit anything unforeseen.
Okay. Chris, you made the motion?
Yes.
My second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Questions?
This will be done though in this year, and the reason I ask that is if they,
He has to order the concrete this year.
that's what I was gonna say, cause if.
So it's gonna be in January when the work gets done, more than likely. But if he places his order for the concrete now, he can get it at this year's price.
Got it. I'm good with that.
Okay. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I think that sidewalk was put in back when the Citizens Bank bought that property. Put it in, and it was built by this guy that couldn't do anything. I think he put my name on it.
We'll look for it.
Do you want it cut out?
I think he put Ricky on it.
That would cool.
Do you want it cut out to save it?
No.
And by that way, this price does also include, if you've driven out that street, you know that the asphalt is above the gutter and nearing the top of the curb. It cuts all that out, puts in new curb and gutter, gets it flush with the road for better stormwater control, and puts in the 5-foot sidewalk.
I might add that personally, we've been trying to work on getting that property from Regions that's not being maintained well, corner of Grogan and Cartersville, to make it a small park, because we don't have a park on that side of Canton Highway. So even if we name it Regions Park, it'd be nice to have it. That's something we're working on.
Any headway on that, or?
Not much.
No, okay.
Mountain Brook sidewalk extension, no change since last month. Public Works, it's a real neat little thing. If you look on the left-hand side, and can't say this is all the problem, you know, the old well pump just never worked to the level that we were expecting. They did design a new pump, but if you can believe, all that pump was running with all that broken 100 foot beneath the water. So there was a lot of electricity in the water and little blue streaks on the pipe, and it was good. On the right-hand side, you'll notice that's the electronic monitor in there, putting out at 259 gallons a minute at the time when they cranked it up. So the current status is we've increased production from 144 gallons a minute to 259 gallons a minute. We're pumping about 222 gallons a minute against a full head. That's a potential yield of 144,000 additional gallons per day. If fully implemented, we can see a cost savings of $10,000 to $12,000 a month. and the total cost of this project was $22,000. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. We're going to be gentle and ease into things. We don't want to overdo anything. We want to monitor, since this is a ground source. But if all goes well, then this next summer, we will apply to EPD to increase our withdrawal permit from 250,000 gallons a day to 325,000 gallons a day. Water purchase point, the survey, they had told me the survey is complete. It was supposed to be delivered to me today, but it didn't come, so hopefully tomorrow. As soon as that is there, I'll get with the city attorney and we will prepare a purchase offer for the property that we need to get the water line across to access the top of Mountain Brook. Solid waste, our request for proposal is now public. We have initial interest from 4 providers. It's Waste Management, Green for Life, Waste Pro, and Picklesheimer are the 4 that have initial interest. Just because they have interest doesn't mean they're going to submit. Sometimes they don't. RFP is open to January 17th. It closes at noon, and we will open the proposals at 12:30. Recreation and Parks. Playground is actually open as of a couple hours ago. So they finished this evening. They do owe us still about 4 seat swings that have not come in yet, but they will, the old ones are still there and in use, and when they come in, they'll just come out and change them. That's the pictures of the rubberized mulch that's in there, and that was taken this morning before the equipment was cleaned. I haven't gone back out yet to see the results of the cleaning of the equipment, but they said they were very happy with the way the equipment looked this evening.
I saw it. I saw it late this afternoon,
Did you?
and it big difference.
Good deal. Pocket Park project, the shade poles are installed. The sales come in mid-January. Knee wall is complete and just really changes the whole appearance of that park. And once we add the color of the sails to it, it's going to be a completely different area. The cafe lights are already here. And so once the sails are up, the same installer will just put on the cafe lights, and it's going to be a very nice spot downtown. It's a picture down in the bottom of the small stage that's been there, so we can just have small group things there on the weekends. So good facility there. Roberts Lake, nothing really changing. Parks Master Plan, January open houses, hoping for a February adoption, and beginning to work then on developing budgets and cost estimates. General activities in parks, redo of Field 1 and Field 2 concessions. The Field 2 scoreboard is due in any day now, and then we'll get that installed. And instead of having the old Gatorade thing on it, since they're not sponsoring anything, it'll have the big city logo on the left-hand side of the scoreboard instead of Gatorade. Community development, be a busy month in January. We have all our normal things, but we'll also be bringing you a new stormwater code for consideration of adoption. Really not much consideration. It's a mandate by the Metro Atlanta District. Also be bringing you the changes to approve for submittal to the Department of Community Affairs to change the building code for the Metro District mandated plumbing code that will go into effect in Metro Atlanta. Also changes in zoning ordinance and our stream buffer ordinance to streamline those, which is the reason we were in a moratorium for the variance processes. ISO survey, we hope is about wrapped up. That's been consumed a lot of time from Chris and his folks. And the impact fee methodology report and project listings, we think our end of that is now done. We should be in the public hearing phase, advisory board phase, and getting this thing moving forward. Building permits, November, we issued 14 building permits against 0 last year. Our total right now, last year was 94. We're currently at 111 for this year, and have already issued a couple in December so far this month. Active development reports on residential. Not a lot of changes, but of the 356 approved units, 110 have already been permitted. Commercial development right now, the medical office building, everybody sees that rolling along. The convenience store up at the corner is also moving along. Beverage store, dry cleaner, and restaurant. Fire marshal had 2 comments. One of them got addressed easily today, and I think they're still working on a turn radius, Chris?
Turn radius and fire flow.
Yeah, so the fire flow, we got back to them. They have plenty of fire flow. So just working on 1 turn radius, and they'll be ready for permits.
Have they said what kind of restaurant? Yeah?
Is it signed, Chris, the restaurant?
I believe they've signed on the dotted line with Vivo Greens.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, wow.
I think there's been a lot of changes since Vivo Greens was last in the area, based on discussions with them. They have another brand of restaurant they operate, I can't think of the name,
Brass Tap.
And they're able to kind of mix and match items. So I think it'll be different than the Vivo Brady's we've had in Shaker County in the past.
I like beef and brains.
Potential development, only real change here is, on Ballground Highway, there was the T&D zone property that was looking for another townhome development. The mayor and I met with one of the property owners that they had under contract, and that individual has stepped back. So the project got smaller. Because that individual would have needed a rezone, and so that one's out. So the project's going to be a little bit smaller than what they were initially looking for.
still townhomes?
Still townhomes, and it is permitted in that zoning classification, but they have to be for sale in that zoning classification. Mountain Brook Phase 3, we did have there's a bit of an issue there on the stormwater. It was turned over, but there's some issues with the developer. Appears to have already quitclaim deed the off right-of-way stormwater to the HOA. What we're told, the HOA didn't have knowledge of that, so they're working through those items, and we're just going to kind of sit by until they figure all that out. On 372 South, we've had 2 meetings with HOA representatives and the developer, and it appears like that, the developer's one that has to do this, but they're going to obtain the easements to dedicate back to the city on where they have the water line, where they've gotten the water line on private property. So to obtain the easements to the city before we take the streets. So it looks like everybody's in agreement, and they just need to get the paperwork done. Are there any questions? Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Eric. Let me at this time go ahead and ask the council anything you want to bring up. Scott?
I did want to kind of give a recap of the Toys for Tots, and the reason we were doing the parade is for the toys, and even with the weather, it's it was very successful. The Marines joined this time after the parade to help load them up, and they brought a box truck and loaded just multitudes of toys. I completed all the businesses today and still had even more that are going to be delivered tomorrow to the Marines. So it was very successful even with the weather. And I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas and a holiday, and just safe out there and enjoy with your families. Thank you.
Vicki?
It seems like it was a year ago that we had our Veterans Day ceremony, but for the second year in a row we had rain again, but the turnout, it didn't deter the turnout, and it was a good event, and I appreciate all the veterans for participating and being able to honor our veterans, and I hope that we get to do it again next year. And then maybe we'll get our flyover, Roger.
Okay. Chris?
I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. And we had our first annual Christmas tree lighting for the Garden Club. They did a beautiful job, it was very pretty. Again, the weather wasn't very pretty to us, but still had a really nice turnout, and the Garden Club did an awesome job on it, so.
Yeah, I sweated those lights and turning them all on at the same time. So I'm very relieved that that is done, and I think our tree's beautiful.
It is.
I look forward to when it's as tall as Canton's, but I just can't keep growing. I don't know.
Well, that's a Colorado blue spruce. It's not a fast grower.
It's
But-
Bruce the
but-
Bruce
Spruce.
the spruce.
Oh, yeah,
name.
Bruce the spruce, we named it. But at least let's keep it shaped
Yeah,
Yeah.
properly.
beautiful tree.
But, okay. Anything else?
Happy holidays.
Dennis, I see you fill this out, so this time let me call on you to speak to us. Anybody else that wants to speak this time?
My name is Dennis Holt, and my wife Lynn and I live at 343 Old Canton, corner of Tatum and Old Canton. I'm representing the Tatum Circle residents tonight. My new neighbor, Bo Jones, actually wrote this petition up. He is the Deputy Chief of Smyrna Public Works. We're very pleased to have him in the neighborhood. Years ago, the Tatum Circle actually has been a one-way street for quite a long time. It's just the sign was removed. Most of us and most people do observe the correct direction, which is Stripling to Old Canton. However, in the last couple of years, we've had serious problems with delivery trucks using not as delivery, but as cut-throughs, specifically FedEx, UPS, Amazon, and the entrance there at Tatum and Old Canton is extremely narrow. It's suitable for leaving, but not really suitable for entering. I have a marble wall there. It's been knocked down several times. Anyway, I'd like to read the petition. We, the property owners resident of Tatum Circle Ballground, request the city of Ballground reinstate and replace the one-way signs on Tatum Circle with direction running from Stripling Street to Old Canton Road. Tatum Circle is currently only 8 feet wide as narrowest and 10 feet wide as largest. It is designated as a 10-foot alley with, as we understand it, based on our plats, no actual right-of-way. It's never been able to accommodate two-way traffic without one of the vehicles pulling onto our properties to pass, resulting in possible significant damage to our properties. And we would like a sign approved also saying no through traffic, or likewise according to MUTC standards. Now, Bo has run this past you, and Bo said you said it was okay as far as the petition format.
The petition format was fine, yes, sir.
Right, okay. We currently lack a couple of signatures, but everyone is on board with this. What we're asking for tonight is just tentative approval until we get the remaining 2 signatures.
Okay, but you
So
talked
when-
to
if you
the
tentatively
people
approve it,
that
then-
haven't signed. You've already talked to them.
Oh, yeah,
So
we've already got
they're-
verbal approval,
they're-
and we've got signatures on most people.
Okay.
But we're willing to take tentative approval until we get everything else, unless you want to go ahead and do it now.
I'd like to discuss it in our work session, you know, so in case we have any other questions or whatever, so.
Yeah, we'll act on it fast though.
Okay.
Once you have the petition
Okay.
complete.
So would I need to come again to another council meeting?
Just the petition,
just
to
pro-
staff.
Just provide the petition to staff, Eric or Chris, and then we'll cover it at the work session and then act on it next.
Awesome.
Yes.
A little quick commercial. A lot of us are seniors here. I hope you have heard about the news raising the senior exemption on taxes. They want to raise it to a higher level, resulting in us having less school taxes, or completely eliminating it all, like in Cobb County. My son has in-laws there that has a house that's like $2 million. They pay no school taxes at all. Whereas here we have, I believe, a $300,000 limit. And above
I think
that,
it's up to 500.
I think it's something like that.
I think it's up to 500 now.
But the referendum that's coming up is going to say, you've got a couple of options. You're going to raise it so seniors pay less tax, or completely eliminate so seniors pay no school taxes at all, which I'm personally in favor of, considering how much our taxes have gone up yearly in the last 5 or 6 years. So a little quick advertising that, please support that.
I believe that's also if you're a resident for 5 years or longer,
Right,
too.
right. Absolutely. Thank you for your attention. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. We were at a meeting the other night with the legislative group, and they're moving to take action to actually lower the tax assessments that jumped up so much in the last couple of years. We'll see if that happens, but that's
Yeah.
something that,
Hopefully if those come to fruition, it'll,
Taxes would be super.
hopefully if it comes to fruition of all the things that we're trying to work through, it will benefit not only seniors, but everybody in the long run. So we're working hard on that because it's tough.
anybody else want to address us on anything? All right, well, at this time, I didn't say anything. Let me come back to say that we're finishing our, this year, our next meeting will be in January. Our first work session will be first Thursday. But this will be the first time in several years that we won't have a new council members because we won't have any elections for the next 2 years. So it's glad we're all, and I wanted at this time to say, this year, Ballground is 140 years old. We have not celebrated the anniversary, the birthday of our city. We are the second oldest one in the county. We actually came into existence at the same time that Reinhardt College did, Reinhardt University now. But I asked Karen to bring us to share a cake here tonight as we adjourn the meeting. And I did ask her to put 140 candles on it, but she wouldn't. But I just want to say, I don't think we can ask to sing happy birthday to the city, but I think this is something, we actually started the city hall, I think on the 125th birthday. So 140, again, is something that I asked to do some adding up. If you add up my time, Karen's time, Eric's time, David's time, we almost come up to 140 years. So, but anyway, I just want to say happy birthday to our city and hope the council and everybody here says too. So we will, at this time, adjourn the meeting and share this cake and this.
Blow the candles
I
out.
gotta blow candles out.
Well, who's going to blow them?
You.
Well, you're the man.
You've been here the longest.
No, she has.
Okay, you and Karen blow them out.
Blow them together.
All right.
One,
Don't blow on me.
okay,
There we go.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Ballground.
It crossed my mind that, oh gosh, she put on candles that won't blow out. Somebody tricked me before on that. But anyway, what we'll just, I think we have some coffee set up too, so guys enjoy it, and we
Little smoky in here.
we will. Oh, we can't smoke in here. I hope everybody has a good holiday season, and I'm very excited that we're coming back next year in January with very experienced council.
We're getting seasoned.
Our 5 council members here now have been amazing in how
All
much
stated, and if we need to
how much they have learned and took part in, and how professional they are. So I'm glad we don't have to train somebody else because we'll all be together for at least two more years before any change can happen. But anyway, so again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you. And Dennis, you know, I'm better at texting than emailing.
Same thing to water.
But every time I get them from you, I'm either like on a plane or I was in New Orleans, and then I forget. So just reach out to me and say, hey, why didn't you answer me? Well, to be retired, I've never been so busy. That's the truth. But
Need a
anyway,
motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
A second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Again, Merry Christmas.